I got a group of like teenage kids across my street shooting a gun into the into the ground. And I know for a fact because I just watched the one little punk put it back in his waistband.
How many shots were fired?
5, 6. There might be a second firearm because it sounded like there was some from 2 different directions.
That was just one of many chilling 911 calls revealing how a 4th of July block party in South Carolina spiraled into chaos before a mob of teens and adults turned on police. Viral video shows a female officer getting swarmed and dragged to the ground before the mob repeatedly punched her. Another officer rushes in and deploys a taser to stop the attack. 4 juveniles and 2 adults are facing charges, including possession of a machine gun, breach of peace, and assault of a police officer while resisting arrest. A makeshift spear was also found at the scene, and police say that the investigation remains active and additional arrests are possible. In another phone call with the police dispatcher, one North Charleston resident can be heard begging for help, saying they are terrified to leave their home.
I already have a call made in for gunshots across the street of my house, and I believe the officers are at the end of the street, but they haven't come down to the correct side.
Did you want to meet with an officer?
No, I don't want to leave my house. I know for a fact it was gunshots. I know the difference between a gunshot and firecrackers, and that was not a firecracker.
Emily, people were waiting on police for quite some time, and it's like defund the police. I'm not saying that happened here, but look, the people who want to defund, this is the reality you will be looking at.
That's where my head went also. There was one statement, transcript of a call, where the person said they called 45 minutes prior, and they said, there's a gun in my hand, and if someone comes on my property, I'm going to kill them. And I can't imagine the fear, as they said, it sort of erupted and fomented into this all-out war, to use their words. I thought about that, too. So here in New York, our ratio is 1 police officer for 4 police officers for 1,000 New Yorkers. And Mamdani said that he would bring in, 580 more. He reneged on that promise. I wondered, too, is it a shortage of law enforcement officers? What culture is there that clearly is bred in these kids where they are just all-out violence acceptable against law enforcement? There must be zero accountability, zero fear of authority in any way, in the form of this is going to take, it's going to ruin your life in that way of criminal consequences. And I found that the despair in those calls were the most disheartening thing, of the residents being like, is anybody there? Is anybody coming? Those kids are going to destroy themselves.
There was a Trump campaign ad, Lisa, that was widely mocked, and it was a ringing person trying to call police. You see the phone ring and no one answers. And look, it's a reality in this situation.
Well, and even in red states like South Carolina, which is a problem here. I mean, look, if parents aren't going to do their jobs, then we need law enforcement to do theirs. And the problem here is, what U.S. Attorney Judge Jeanine has advocated for is lowering some of the ages, especially in places like Washington, D.C., for juveniles to be tried as adults, even as young as 12 years old. The problem in a lot of these states is that these juvenile cases start in family courts, and then it's relying upon a judge to transfer it and try them as an adult. Whereas if you look at the state of Florida, I think every state should take Florida's lead. You are able as a prosecutor to take it directly to adult court for 16 and 17-year-olds. For even younger, if it's a serious crime, you're allowed to do that as well, bypassing the judge. So, if parents are going to do their jobs, I wonder how many of these kids even have parents at home who care or even know where they are. Then we need to step up and start trying these juveniles as adults. I will also just point out that what was found, a machine gun, and a handmade spear. That's insane.
Yeah, the 19-year-old is the one with the machine gun. I know you're an adult at 19, but where are the parents?
Chances are there's no dad, and never was. And that's the saddest thing about all of this. When you look at all these episodes of crime, when you look at some of the core terrible issues in America, 25% of white kids are born with no dads, 50% of Hispanic kids, 75% of black kids. I'm here to tell you, you can't redistribute enough money. You couldn't put the biggest tax, confiscate all the billionaires' money, and solve these problems if kids grow up in homes without dads. This is where it starts and this is where it ends. And it's inevitable when some child doesn't have any structure, any strong man in their life, they're going to resort to the streets, and that's where they're going to learn their discipline and what you can get away with or not. It breaks my heart to see those videos because when I see a police officer under assault, they stand watch for all of us. We're all under assault. Unless you're armed yourself, the police are our last line of defense. And anytime you see somebody get taken to the ground by a mob who's a police officer, it is a threat to every single one of us because that's the job the police have. And that's why seeing this is a frightening thing to see. There are guards. They protect all of us, and nobody wants to see this.
No doubt. And Rebecca, there was a female officer who tried to go detain a woman, and she was rushed, literally rushed by a mob and attacked.
Okay, so this is horrifying. So you have if you have one teen that already is armed, that's scary enough. But then when you have a mob mentality, I'm concerned that it took so long for the police officers to arrive. And then when you watch that, it's like, do they not have training? Do the law enforcement officers not have the backing of their police force? I cannot believe the degree of restraint that the law enforcement had against these teens when the law enforcement knew these teens were armed and the teens weren't even harmed, and the teens had the audacity to assault and attack these police officers. I mean, to me, does that signal that there has been lax law enforcement for some time, that these teens knew they could get away with this? I mean, it is outrageous. I hope there's a full-on assessment of the training and everything that happened leading up to this, because the people who live in that area have to be confident in their law enforcement that they're going to arrive timely and protect them when they get there.
Well, you do have lawmakers like Kamala Harris, who told Jacob Blake in Wisconsin, who pulled a knife on police officers, that she was proud of him. So I wonder where they got the idea.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.